I'm making a Metroidvania based in a secret underground research facility where everything is escaped and is threatening to take over the world. Been working on creating a playable demo to release on itch and Steam, and we've added a lot already, like a character with a state machine, combat, and bosses like this cute little guy. Do you think that when you beat this walrus, you should be able to ride him? Let me know. Last week, our goal was to create a tool to help us create a map. Every Metroidvania has a map that is slowly revealed as you explore. We started by getting a reference to our core level. This can be any level in the game, but we don't have many right now, so it's just this one. We take that and we take a little peek inside, and we look for two things: the room transitions and the tile map. The tool will then crawl through each transition, see what it connects to, and places some detail there. Now, originally it was just the tile map that the level is, and we created a smaller version of that for the map. So I created a second tile set that I just draw cubes over. Then what I do is I take the used tiles in that tile set and I draw cube polys for each point, which does exactly what we're going for. Then, as an added benefit, we use that exact same tile set to figure out where the player is during the game and highlight that point. We also set up exploration so we can log which tile we've been to and keep track of it. So it only shows us those tiles when we open up the map. Now, just like everything else we've made so far, it needs to be made to look good. So what's the plan this week? We need to create a status screen where you see all the upgrades and power-ups, so the player can check their progression as they play the game. We might even give them the ability to turn off and on different abilities. We also need to look into a crest, charms, or jade system, whatever, every game has a name for this kind of thing. Basically little things that you can collect to slightly alter the way that your character plays. If you're on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. If you're on Twitch, give us a follow. We're streaming development on Mondays, Wednesdays, Saturdays, 6 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Hopefully, I will see you there. Let's get started. Hello. Oh, my camera's not working. Hang on. Awkward. Why does it look like that? I guess I'm just gonna be like thick today. What the hell? Just roll with it. It's fine. I think what happens is the camera, because it's a GoPro, so it's feeding in like wide, and I'm taking in not wide or something like that. It's a resolution mismatch or something. What the hell? I am not looking quite right, but we'll roll with it. Okay, so where are we at? We have finished our map system. Well, we've got it working. It just needs to be made to look good. And now we sort of start looking at the rest of the... So basically what I've been doing over the last couple of weeks is just going through all this stuff that we sort of have in this menu here, which looks really bad because it's like in the in-game thing. But so we sort of had the inventory, we've got the map now, and we've got mission objectives, which, and all of these things, they're just being made to work essentially. And now we've got suit status and options. Those are the last two that we have to do. These ones will be a little bit more straightforward, I think, because we're just gonna get data from systems we already have created. And same with options. I don't think there'll be much here, but we'll get these working so that we can actually just like start building out the game and start building out those kind of things. And so that's what we're going to do. I guess I started an A sprite today. Hey. It's 320 wide, 180 tall, I think is the resolution of the game. Technically it's 1080p, but we scale up. We scale up. Okay, so we go with the AP64. I much prefer this palette. Do like a grey background. Bone circuit. Welcome, welcome. Oh, I need so I was thinking like, like the Metroid one, he's got like the suit in the background and stuff. Like I need something in the background. I think it's gonna just be his head. I need his head. Do I have a front? I don't even know if I have a front view version of that. I don't know. Where would that be? Under resources, right? Sprites. Hero 3. At least we can get an isolated view of the head. I don't think I have like a front view. Power up? No. Sprinting, it's always just like on an angle. He's looking down. Okay, so we're gonna have to figure out what this looks like when it's rotated to the front. Well, at least let's create a copy of it. Let's just duplicate. New frame over here, and then take that down, and then take any head, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter which one. Let's try to draw this from the front. I kind of click. Locked. What do you think this looks like? Is it more like the left than it is the right? I reckon we could probably just cheat if we delete this side. I'm regretting that. Wait. Maybe not all of the left side. Maybe more like take this much. And then duplicate it. And then flip it. Transform. Select. Flip horizontal. There we go. Ah, yes. Yep, that's what he looks like from the front. 100%. That's my guy. Maybe not. That I think is a little bit more sensible, but the visor looks ridiculous. Probably needs to be higher up. Then I would go like... We can always update this stuff later on. Or does it make more sense to go like out? Like this. Wait, what does he look like from the side again? I've forgotten. It's not really doing it for me, but it could be good enough. Now that I'm seeing this, it's like a very downward shaped visor, right? Like, it's kind of silly. Hey, JJ with no sauce. Thank you so much for the raid. How's it going? How was your raid? How was your stream, I should say. Jesus. Welcome in. Welcome. What have you been up to today? I'm having a look. Have you been making a game? You gonna go into a coma? Have a good sleep, dude. Oh yeah, I see you've been doing some pixel art.
Hey guys, we are back. We're back again.
Nice, dude. Oh well, I'll slash shout out. There must be like a way that people do this automatically, right? I've never had to think about it.
All right, I got a little nod off.
Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Have a good sleep. I made it automatic using StreamerBot. Oh yeah. Thank you, man. Thank you. No problems. All right, that we were looking at this terrible pixel art here. Honestly, I'm not feeling it, but I'm also not in the mood to draw out the process of actually trying to make it look good. I don't know. Let's leave that out. Okay, yeah, we'll just go. That's his head. That's what he looks like from the front. Deal with it. Can we get that on a new layer? The scaling options in Sprite are really bad. You know what I mean? That's not like a one-to-one. Edit, transform, but we're just like, you just have to deal with it. And where's my guides? Oh man, GIMP is so much better for this kind of stuff. I don't even know how to do guides. View, grid. I guess if I make the X, it's just gonna make it really small though. I don't like that. Let's roll with that. It's my guy, not like actually pixel. He's not pixel accurate, but whatever. Okay. Whatever, dude. Let's just roll with it. Let's not pay too much attention to this shit. It's we just gotta get something in. Okay, so let's think about like all the different things that you can collect in the game. So you have you've got probably mostly movement right now. There's no weapons, which I think we should change. Like there should be weapons that you can unlock, but right now it's just abilities. So you've got like things like the dash and the wall jump and the double jump. I think are the main three that you can unlock right now. Hang on. Here's the, you can actually see that in the data. So you've got the dash, double jump, sprint fall, sprint jump. All of this just comes with the dash. I'm not going to put those in. And then yeah, wall jump and wall slide. So it's just 3. So I'm going to put them on the left hand side. Yeah, I don't know about like positioning. What is this? 48? 48 is like a pixel size that people use. New layer. And then just fill it in. Is there a way to shrink select? Oh wait, I've seen this before. I think you press a button. No? Whatever. Just do it with my eyes. it is. Just duplicate it. And then duplicate it again. And then we'll just have these ones show up on the side there. And basically we'll just make the thing change like every time that there's a new ability unlocked. And then we'll do the same thing over this side for your like crests or whatever the heck. Maybe we need a separate screen for that. I don't know. Dude, I'm so bad at the visuals. Something like that. We're just mocking it up. We're just mocking it up. Really? If we like duplicate merge down into one, and then we can just flip it. Duplicate, and then we go and we go sprite, no, layer. Layer? I don't know, whatever, dude. Edit, flip horizontal. Huh. What the heck? Oh, they're not all the same. Merge down. Edit, flip horizontal. Okay, what the fuck? Oh, these are on the same layer? Ugh. What the fuck, man? Okay, wait. This is on a layer? That's on its own separate layer. So these need to be all merged down. What the? Merge down. Merge down. And they're all on the same layer. What the hell just happened? Edit, flip horizontal. No, duplicate. Flip horizontal. Jesus. Actually, I don't know, actually. Frick. Let's just do it. Hello, Alex Eats Cesium. Welcome, welcome, export as. Let's save this. This is like the worst mock-up I've ever seen in my life. I hate doing art. Data, grid maps, resources. Isn't there like a menu one? UI. And what is this? This is like the... This is the upgrades and yeah, we'll call it that. And we'll go with this. And then resources, Metrovania, project, assets, UI. Now let's create a new folder for this. Upgrades. So I want to do like a Castlevania style thing, like Aria of Sorrow, with the power-ups that like the mod chips, or I'm calling them mod chips, but like the idea that you can get little things that like modify, so they're not like super game breaking. They might just allow you to do certain things, or like to be able to like I don't know, like float. Like your fall speed is reduced or something like that, which can be potentially like sequence breaking, but that's okay. You'd have to think of a few before you add them, which is probably something I'll need to do. But for now, let's just get this other screen in. So I guess this is a new control thingo, because like everything else is, let's close some of these. And we just click control node here. Make it big. And I guess it's just like a texture rect. And it's going to be like a bunch of texture rects like that cover it up. And we need icons as well. You know what I mean? We need icons for all the different abilities that you pick up. There's only 3 at the moment, but so we go in and we get that UI. This absolute dog's breakfast of a upgrades sheet, and that is there. They're just so bad. Whatever. And that's like your base, and then you put like texture X. And these will be above, I'm pretty sure. Where's the Godot icon? Yeah, right. And then they will just sit here. 48 by 48 is the size of these. And so we'll have like, this one might be the dash. And then this one might be the double jump. And this one might be the wall slide. Right. And then, yeah, the other side, we don't have anything yet. We've only got these 3. Okay. We need more icons. And probably some text as well to say what it is. Above and below. Didn't really leave space for that in the UI, but love doing art. New. All power-ups lead to Godot. Exactly. Okay, so what we want to do is probably look for we want to take, now, ironically, the dash doesn't really have a specific sprite, but we can use this as our base starting point for this. Ironically enough, 48 by 48 is bigger than this sprite. So there's that. Like 48, this is actually smaller than what I'm going to do for the icon, which is pretty funny. Export as visible layers, selected frame, resize 100%, that's fine. I'm only going to use this as like a starting point. Choose resource fight, run right. Just right, export. And then that should be in the folder that it's saved in. Development projects, Metroidvania, resources. Where is it? Run. Run left, run right. Okay, great. I actually already had these. So what I want to do is actually turn this into a more like So color, is there a way to change the color? Select all, modify color range. No, that's select. We want to edit, replace color. Is there a way that we can just replace all? There, tolerance there. Not to brown. That's crazy. What the hell? Go white, that's fine. And then probably just put like some streaks in, some like speed streaks. Extra fast. Get the pixel gap correct. Look at the other way. Hey, is that the correct? It is. Yep. What's this music? This feels weird. Is this still in Game Chops? Music by Game Chops, everybody. Okay. Phasing, we're phasing. Phase up. So that's our, is that our phase icon? We have probably another layer below this, right? Like, do like a border. Like this. And then something darker on the inside. Like so. Go here and then choose. Yeah, that works. Resources, sprites, UI. I'm gonna create a new folder for this. Ability icons. Alright, turn the fan on. Hang on. It's still, it's going into autumn and it still like gets so hot. It's crazy. Okay, so that's our dash ability. Let's just put ability on that. Ability, dash, ability, icon. All right, there you go, yes. And then we can just flip that out. And okay, so what is the other one? We have the dash. We have got, just noticed that you look slightly stretched. Yeah, my camera decided to be thick today. I think I could fix it by unplugging it, but I also don't want to risk it. Wait, let's see. Ugh. Are you back? I'm still thick. I have to unplug the entire thing. Which I don't want to do because I have to get underneath the table to do that. So yeah, I don't know. This does happen from time to time. What it's doing, I think, is like it's reflecting, because normally the GoPro will just like give you the direct video feed, which is really good, which is why I like it, compared to like using an old phone, because I've got an old phone as well. But right now I think it's just like giving me the back, like what's on the screen behind it. Like it's giving me the view, which is why it's wide. And the only way to fix that for some reason is to unplug the entire feed-in setup at the bottom, take its power out. Yeah, I don't know. I got like a Ugreen HDMI connector tool. I don't, it's like one of those things, HDMI to video to USB, where you can like you would get the Stream Deck to do the same thing, but they cost like hundreds of dollars, and the Ugreen one costs like $40. You know, what's the next ability? And so yeah, just end up with quirks like this. Double jump. My alarm. I didn't forget it this time. Well, I did forget it, but I heard it much sooner. Okay. Double jump. How do we do that? It's not a bug, it's a feature. Wide. We'll call this dash. So the rest of them are kind of abstract. So I guess I'll just like draw pictures and they'll be bad and you guys will just have to like sit through it. So a double jump is going to be actually called like a boost. So realistically, it's more like a booster. So what actually, rather than do that, it's more like, make this bigger, having a booster pack, which I guess would look kind of like this. Like if you imagine you had like a jetpack, and then, but it's all just a silhouette, and then below this you have like it's like fire coming out. Yeah, that's totally what it looks like. Yeah, 100p. So real. I'm so real for that. Oh, that's still bad. Why is it? I want a long tail. Exploding corn dog? Yeah. I suppose if we wanted to make it clear that it's like two separate objects, you could outline this one and be like, yeah, it's okay, that just looks like an ass. Well, okay, yeah, well, yeah. What about if we made it less literal and we just gave it like a little fire icon, but downward? I'm so bad at... What does fire look like, guys? Three circles in a vertical strip where they are slightly bigger in size. Oh, good. Yes. The arse makes sense. Yeah, he's just like farting. I need a different color to help me represent this. That just looks like a love heart. And it's slightly off center. It's hilarious. Okay. And then just move it up a bit. Good idea. That looks much more sensible. Is it centered? Can't tell. Boost. Double jump. I call it boost in my head. Let's just call it double jump is clearer. We have to think of a name for that one. And then, okay, finally is wall jump, which I know I'm going to call like magnetic grip or something like that. So it's going to be like a hand. A totally accurate salad fingers style hand. Magnet claws, yeah. but like, because it is sort of like obviously pulling out of the same kind of inspiration of as like Mega Man and stuff like that. I was like, it should be quirky, like a magnet grip or something like that. Like this retro kind of sci-fi vibe. Go with that. That picky. Yep. Okay. So I guess like the fingers should be like, I don't know, man. Pixels is hard. Fine. All right, let's go. We don't have time. Wall slide ability icon. One of my cats has appeared on my desk. The classic cat on desk. Yeah, I haven't had a cat. Also, I just noticed that like the pixels. I haven't had a cat in a really long time because the only cat that I ever had was my roommate's cat, and then when I moved out, I have a dog now, and she's reactive to cats, so I cannot get a cat. I'm not a huge fan. I really like my roommate's cat, but like before that, I was not a fan of cats. I think you just need to like, it's the same thing, you know, once you actually own one, because like my family I didn't grow up with cats, and then whenever I went to my friends' houses, it was like there's just a random cat and it doesn't want to talk to you, but then when you live with one and it knows you, it's a bit different. And then you can like definitely appreciate them as pets, because I didn't before that, which is crazy. Ability icons. Are you meaning to export as Aseprite? I don't know, did I? I meant to export as PNG. Although I exported them to the wrong folder, so there's that. Project. Also, some cats are way friendlier than others. True. Yeah, dogs are the best people. My dog is general branch matter of the local park. Casper is really friendly and comes up to strangers and says hi. Yeah, we nicknamed my roommate's cat Party Cat, because whenever we had parties, he would be out there like getting attention from everybody, which was just like so unusual for a cat, at least in my experience. So yeah, Party Cat was pretty awesome. I think he passed away recently. I don't know, I have to ask. Because we're old, and that was ages ago. I got 3 cats. 3 cats? That's a lot. Do they get along? What are they like together? So we can just turn these on. They bring me so many leaves. Nice. I missed a mouse. Colors aren't that good, but whatever. So it's going to be really easy. We'll just basically send the state data to this, and we'll be able to like figure out. These are 48 by 48, so they should completely occupy this. I guess there's some scaling going on here. Because I did like grab these. Transform. Size, position, 48 by 48. Huh. Hero was thinking that 48 by 48 would... I guess it's been scaled up, right? Dude, what's going on there? Is that a mistake on my part, or is it a mistake from the scaling? Probably me. Okay. Oh, right. So I don't actually know how much it's scaled up by. Just grab the scale of the background sprite. 1. Because UI is kind of funny like that. Alright, I'm just gonna have to eyeball it. That's okay. If we, because of the pivot point, we can just put it exactly where we want it to be here and then just like drag it out. And then we just need to take note. .288 by 288. Are these gonna stack properly when I like resize this? I wonder. Probably not, right? They're not anchored correctly. I haven't got this the right size. I hate UI pisses me off sometimes with this kind of stuff. It's like it's not gonna stay, but like I guess that's just the way it needs to be set up correctly. Why can't you read my mind, Godot? So if I run this, oh, I have to save the scene. Menus. And then we need to set this to pop out. Yeah, see how they don't sit? They don't scale properly. So we need to actually change that. Make this floating. And then don't embed. Press that. Play this again so that we can actually pull it out and move it around and stuff. So obviously the background is anchored correctly and that's always going to stretch and squish based on that, but these aren't. So we could probably make them children. Like I'm kind of trying to think like there's ways of doing this kind of stuff. The parent, the icons, yeah, there we go. Let's see how that plays out. There's other ways of doing this, but like I think that will, no, it won't work. There you go. I thought that actually would. So what you need to do is instead of doing that, we need to set up probably, they need to be anchored correctly, number one, so that when they do scale and stuff, they scale in the right spot. And then their pivot points probably need to be in the center of their pivot offset ratio, 0.5, 0.5. And then also they probably need to set up to scale. Oh yeah, that literally fixes it. Okay. Easy. Can you get away without changing the pivot point? Yeah, it doesn't matter. Just get the anchors in the right spot and everything works. Over here. Happy days. Okay, so yeah, this is just pretty straightforward. This is just the background. So as far as the script goes, ability menu, abilities, we can just call that. What we can do is essentially we will create a script, and when it gets made visible, like, because you don't really need to interact with this, and I do think I'm going to do a separate menu for the like the crests or whatever, the mod chips. Then this is done. Really, I just need to actually do the art properly, but. Scenes, menus, sub-menus, ability menu. Wait. Okay, that was in the wrong folder, but whatever. With class name. Ability menu. So give it a function called like get abilities. Get abilities, set ability icons, probably. Set ability icons, probably a better name for this. And we need access to all three. So let's create an export for each of them. Export var dash icon. And that is a texture rect, right? Texture rect. Copy and paste because I'm lazy. And then we've got boost icon. And then wall jump. So then we can say abilities is, I believe it's a dictionary, right? Is equal to game state dot player data dot state data, right? So we get the state data. But okay, so cannot assign player state machine data okay, so there, that's actually is there code time dash distance. Wait, there's a thing within this. We're looking for a very unlock states. There it is. Dot unlock states, which is a dictionary of string pool. Okay. So as we were like figuring out the other day, this matters a lot. Let me just break my script. We need to make sure it has the same signature. Otherwise it's going to get cranky. Okay. What's the warning there? Oh, it's never used. Okay. So then we can say, we can just do like an if statement, I guess. We can say if abilities, I hate it when my code is cranky. A doggo Easter egg it is then. Ability, if abilities dot, whatever the ability is called, dash. Probably better if I do it, it's string, right? Dash. It is literally just like a hard-coded string, right? Got a capital letter. Dash, double jump. Oh yeah, you know why? Because they correspond to the nodes. That's why they have to look like that. Then dash icon dot show. If abilities double jump, boost icon dot show. If abilities, and then I think it's just called wall slide, right? and then wall jump icon to show. Abilities not declared. Did I spell it wrong? Oh, I didn't spell it right to begin with. Abilities. Yeah, I'm not a very good speller. I failed English. Okay, so yeah, that's fine. They start off hidden, then they become visible. Okay, I don't see anything wrong with that. I guess if I really wanted to be correct, I would set them as... At least I was consistent, yeah, because the program forced me to. Otherwise, it would tell me that it's wrong. I used the checker. What is it called? You start typing, it fills it in for you. I think there's another thing in this. At least maybe at some point there was something that was spelt wrong throughout the entire thing, and I just was like, okay, I guess it's like that now. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's not, because if they're just hidden to start with, and when you unlock them, they become visible. The thing is, when do we call this function? And generally, what I do is, and I don't know if this is the right way or not the right way, we just connect the visibility change thingo, and then we say if visible, then we call the set ability icons, right? So when you make it visible, then it becomes visible. Now, I think the only thing that's a little bit funky with this signal is that in a tab, it will still count as visible. It won't count as visibility change when I hide the entire thing. So there's another thing. I learned this the other day. This was to do with the map menu. Is visible in tree is the two checks that you want to do before you want to make anything happen. However, I don't even know a visibility change. I don't know, man. Who knows? Let's add this to the menu. I've got a powers menu. We just delete this, right? And add the new one that we made. At the end of the day, I think that's probably the easiest thing to do. Powers menu, delete. And what did I call this? Ability menu. Great. Remind me to delete the old one. When you bring them back in, they they change missions, abilities. That's fine, I guess, and then options. And then yeah, I guess let's see if it breaks. I think it will. Okay, so I shouldn't have any abilities in this first one, right? I'm literally about to get the dash here. And so it's completely blank. And I'm noticing that pixel is like consistent through all of them because I just copy and pasted it. That's pretty funny. Okay, so let's just unlock the dash here. Oh, the sound is on. I'm gonna save so that I can check this without having to do that again. And we get the dash. And then, yeah, okay. Cannot call method on a null value. I forgot to set them. That's fine. I always forget that. I use this export variable thing pretty much for everything, because it is a lot more reliable. And then, yeah, then I forget to set it. Classic. good water. Let's run it back. So we come over here and we grab our dash. We didn't crash, so I say it worked. Yeah. What happens if we go back and save now? It's one of the more simple menus that I had to set up. The other ones, like the maps and stuff, like way more complicated. Abilities, that still works. And then we can also just set the abilities here. We can change abilities. So we can add double jump, sprint, fall, sprint, jump, which should be on the dash thing, or slide. Everything has a place, and a place for everything. And now it shows all of them. So I guess it's working. So now we just need probably more abilities, because I think 3 is too much. Oh, I lost my head. If you take damage while you're climbing over a ledge, the animations don't reset. I need to look at that. I do know why that is. It's because I cut some corners on the wall climb. On the wall climb animation, there's just one animation rather than being chopped up, which means it needs to like do some dodgy shit to make it work, which is why when you take damage it comes undone. Okay, so easy. Can anything take away abilities that make them new possibilities later? No, not right now. Yo, why the camera looking funny today? It's thick Chaff, all right? No, I don't know. The camera bugs out. Oh, when I start thinking I can't fix it. So now I'm looking extra thick. Ultra thick. It's like low res. Something weird. I think it's taking the image from the view from the back of the camera rather than the actual feed from the camera. That's my guess, but I don't know. One boss might strip you clean. Well, actually, now that you say that, in the introduction, I wanted to do like a what is it? It's sort of like a Metroid, a Super Metroid kind of thing where you lose all your power. You know? So, yeah. We can do that pretty easily by... At the start of this function, we just hide everything. We just say, I'm gonna do this lazy style. This is... We could put them in an array and loop through them, but I'm not gonna do that. Because it's like thing here, and then we just go hide. So then they'll be hidden every time we show the screen, and then they'll be reshown, and we get a fresh check. This gets updated, so like, now we should actually be able to demonstrate that. It should work, because it gets checked every time. You can also set up a separate function and have it be when it gets made invisible or something like that. So we have this, and then we should be, okay, wrong button. Change abilities. We add double jump, sprint, fall slide, done. And then we go here, and we've got all of them. And now, if I change the abilities to take away dash, for example, it's not there anymore. So that is great. I'm loving how easy this was to set up. All slide. So now I just have double jump. Give them a taste of everything in the starting area, yeah. Tick it off. Change abilities, and then double jump. Power up, jump, sprint, fall. Turn, vault, run. Double jump, it's all the way up there. and then they're all gone. So basically, yeah, I'm gonna have it, I think, in the intro area just to show you like, oh yeah, look at all these crazy abilities and whatever. It's a pretty common trope in these games. And then something will happen, you'll lose them all, and the message, the whole theme is going to be like, yeah, this is the place where all this shit comes from anyway, so you'll find new abilities in there, and then yeah, we'll add extras that are unique to whatever. I don't know. Super easy, that one. Okay, so what about crests? That is a whole other situation. So it's pretty common in games, like, I forget what it's called in Aria of Sorrow. It's like ghosts or something. Souls, that's what it's called. So Aria of Sorrow has like a souls system, which I think is pretty good. And simple enough to implement. All souls location, how to get souls quicker. Basically, how it works in that game though is you have to kill monsters and you get to steal their souls. I'm not going to do that. I do want it to be like when you defeat a boss, you get like something fun. So one of the ideas was when you beat the security boss, and this will require more work because these don't exist in the game already. The reason that one's easy is because like everything already existed. We're just displaying it on the screen. The security drone has an ability that fires like 3 rockets, and I was like, well, it'd be cool if you could, like, when you beat him, you get the ability to do that. So like stuff like that I think would be fun. It's just you have to create like the state, essentially, like the weapon state, or like that would be like literally a state, like a movement state, because you would hold the player, probably have him do a pose or something, and then shoot the missiles from his back and have them lock onto like the closest enemy or something like that. Super easy. I mean, it's not super difficult, but it is like you have to just make the state and like animate it and write the code for it and everything like that. So that is a lot more work. And then you can have ones that like change things as well, which should be easy enough. So we've actually got right the ability override. We made this for the items, so they're not that different from items. In fact, like you would probably not have like items that affect your movement in the case if you had this kind of thing. So like override stats. So we've got like basically you would just have more of these. You would create a move speed modifier, and then like you can get access to that. And yeah, easy. We've got a signal for it already, so that's the easiest way to go about it. Like if you wanted to say like, hey, like you reduce your fall speed. That's one idea. Or you can make your shoot continuous or something like that, you know, like. But you have to build this stuff out. You can't just like tick a box. It's a lot more complicated than that. And we need a list, and it probably needs to be fairly substantial. That's the other thing as well. So it's something to consider whether or not we even want to do this, because like it's a lot of work. How many souls are in Aria of Sorrow? Or like even crests in Silksong? There's a lot. And they all will need custom code. Uh, 110 souls in Aria of Sorrow. Okay, yeah, that's a lot. Are you going to go sleep, Alex? See ya. Sorry I missed that before. So we can have override stats. That's easy enough. Right now they count down by default duration, but there also needs to be probably, like, I'm assuming they all were duration. What if they were permanent? Yeah, this is going to be... I don't think it's too difficult to do. Like, let's say we wanted to make one that, like, the magnet grip allows you to not, like, the fall... What is it called? Like, you don't fall, like, you don't slide down the wall, you just stick to the wall. Like, you create one called strong grip. And instead of a float, it's like bull, right? Equals false. And then the other thing we need here, the amount is, so this is making a lot of assumptions in this. So the override is activated. It's always a number, and we're just setting it here. And then there's the duration. Maybe if this wasn't a float, maybe if this was just variant, which means it can be anything, that would still work, I think. Let's see. Let's lower down the chain. So in theory, it should still work for, like, using this item here. And it does. So he still gets his speed boost. Everything is all fine. Ouch. How long is this? This goes forever. Dude, he moves so fast. So changing that to variant will work. And I think that will allow, like, something like this to be set to true. Because variant is like anything. So, but then the duration is the question. So if no duration, we make duration, or we have like a number that we give it, like -1. If equal to -1, then it's infinite. Technically that would make it infinite because it would just count down. It would never reach 0. How does it work for, if it's greater than or less than equal to 0? Okay, we get deactivated instantly. Why am I emitting that signal all the time? I don't know about that. Every frame? I'm emitting that every frame? We could also have another variable here. Rather than duration, we just say we can flag it for infinite, and if it's infinite, then it doesn't get, like, picked up in this, which basically loops through everything and reduces it, remaining as a float. Active stat modifier minus equals delta. So this dictionary is the float duration. Yeah, probably the way to go, duration. And then we say infinite, or we set this to just a really high number. Probably not the way to go. Set stat to 0. This is also, this won't work for a boolean. I guess we could make something. We could just operate with binaries. You know what I mean? Just make it an int. If it's 1, then it's true. If it's false, then it's 0. Rather than true and false. In fact, I think if you set something to 0, like if you set a ball to 0, it gets turned false. I don't know. I don't know what happens there. So we make it a number, but then we still don't have the duration solved for this. So if we make it infinite, and then we can say, we also need to store that somewhere. Yeah, so that even telling it that doesn't work because we still need to, like, the way that it gets stored in the active if we don't put it in the active stat modifier, it would never count down. That's the answer. If we just never put it in this. So we can also say, like, if duration is equal to -1, then return out. So we can just say, like, if it's -1, then it's infinite, and we never add it to the active stat modifier, which means that it will never get get deactivated, if that makes sense. Okay, that works. But then the deactivated code here is not quite right. We probably want to feed in an amount. But that also means we need to know in advance of this what it should be. It's almost like the modifiers themselves need to be dictionaries rather than just names, string names. And then you can hold more data. And their types and whatnot. And then, okay, so if we turn to set stat is 0, we could also have this be like a reset value and have it be a variant as well, and also have it be optional. So have the default value be 0, 0, and then set that here. So you can pass anything you want into that, but for the most part, it's going to be 0, 0, which will be fine for these ones here. If you have like a float, but if it's coming from a crest, you're going to have to call this yourself. It's not going to be just counting down automatically. However, yeah, there should be like a. You could have like a, almost like a dictionary. Probably would work better, but this should be fine. And then you just need to pick up whatever it is. Set the duration to be -1. So how do we do this? On, like, where does this get called out from? On the item, what is it called? It is an energy drink. It's called Fiend Soda, that's right. And we're calling a function here. Action on override stat request, move speed modifier. So how does this work? I think on the player, right? The player processes this. On inventory used. Player.item.onUse. Signal manager has signal call array. Action arg emits signal call array. Okay. Pretty straightforward. So you can almost have the exact same setup or like a mod chip, quote unquote. And you'd have like different types. Like obviously I'm I'm creating one now that makes you just not slide on the walls and stick to them instead. But you could also have it, you know, do anything. Because if you're just going to emit a signal and then have it just have that signal with the action arguments, then it would be fine. They're almost the same as icons. Sorry, wrong window. So I think that would be the way to go. So we need a new folder. Scripts. Create new folder, and they're called mod chips for now at least. Create a new script, and it inherits resource. Create. Now, it's actually going to be pretty similar to the items because they're going to behave fairly same, honestly. Yoink. Take the entire thing. Okay, so we've got the name, the small icon, the large icon, the description, the action, and the action arguments. And then it just emits a signal. On use. On equip. Literally identical. There's not really much to it than that. We just call a signal. So then in the case of this one that I made, that I want to make, my mouse is not working. What's wrong? Why you don't work? Maybe there's a bit of dust in there. Chips. Chips. Get a mod chip here, and we'll call it Ultra Grip. And then it's going to be called Ultra Grip. No icons for now, I guess. And it's like increase the power of the mag grip gloves and hold onto the wall firmly without sliding down. And then the action arguments would look like, I don't know actually. I forget how to do this. So I call on override stat request. We're going to need to have two. Right? So we get the 3. And, oh dude, my brain is like not paying attention. So we got the size 3, we got move speed, modifier. Okay, we need the name of the variable, the amount, and then the duration. Also, this is way too long and way too fast. Nerf it. Grip. So, do we have the name of the variable? Override data. Strong grip. script. Amount. It's a bool actually. And then the float here for duration is -1. Finally made it to stream. Agent Foggy, welcome. hope you're having a good morning. I'm sorry that it's so early. The stream is early. Oh, I'm stretching. And my camera's broken. Dude, is this the top of my screen? No, it's not. It's just a black bar. What's this then? Oh yeah, it's that. Okay. Okay, so then we go strong grip is true and the thing is set to -1. And that is how that works, right? We have an on use. So I guess we also need like an on unequip. So that we can say, what should we do? Unequip. Otherwise, we're going to have to just make a lot of assumptions. So I'll just make a second function. And we're going to do the exact same thing, but we'll... But here we'll create, instead of an action argument, we'll create another one called... Okay, so we'll change this. I'm going to have to redo everything. It's so annoying. Equip... On equip arguments, and then we'll have one here called on unequip. People were trying to say GD script is easy, but what am I even looking at? I mean, every language is kind of easy. Like coding is not, coding itself is the hard part. Like, at least in my opinion, the only difficult thing about any language is memorizing the API. You know what I mean? Even Steven, welcome to the chat. So like once you know how the code goes together, like they're all kind of the same. And like your ability to code is based on your knowledge of like just how to put things together and what will work. You know what I mean? It's got nothing to do with the language. Steven with the Doug reference. So I know, you know, like I know about append array and then call v and stuff like that. I learnt about it when I was trying to make this, but now I know how it works. I know I can leverage it, and it's all just blaming tools is for fools. Yeah, it's just about your own ability to like code. And I feel my personal feeling is like once you know one language and you're confident in your ability to understand how coding works in general, you know every language. Like you just need to learn how it goes together. It's like, you know, how do I do a dictionary or like a hash map in some other language? And then you look that up because you know you need one and you know what you can do once you have it. You don't have to relearn like what a variable is, you know what I mean? Or like a boolean. An array is an array is an array. Yeah, exactly. Call array, yep, on unequip arguments, on equip arguments. Okay, so then we have two different things that we can do. Generally speaking, they're just going to be the opposites of one another, but that could also be different at times. I don't know. We'll leave it open, but now we're going to have to redo everything. Look at this. Woohoo. This is a string name, and it's called, what, strong grep or something like that? I have to recheck that. It's a bool, and it's set to true when you equip, and the duration is infinite, so it's -1, -0, -10, and it's the same here. We've got string name, strong grep, and it's a bool, but it's set to false. And the duration is irrelevant, actually. We don't need that. How do I remove an element?
Meow.
Goose Fat, welcome to the chat. How's it going? I didn't even have to look at the chat to know it was you. It is called strong grip. Okay. Okay. Active stat modifiers is like that actually will cause an error. Dot erase. Can it take a incorrect value? Bool erase removes the dictionary key by entry if it exists. Returns true if the given key exists, otherwise false. Do not erase entries while iterating over the dictionary. Iterate over keys instead. Okay, that's fine. So I can just leave that there and it'll just erase something that doesn't exist is fine. It does return a value. I'm surprised it doesn't give me a warning. Okay. That should work. Now we just need a way to add them. The challenging part. My user interface. My enemy. My number one enemy. Okay. I guess I'm gonna do like a top and bottom, kind of like Hollow Knight, I guess. I could do left and right. There's only going to be 3 slots. I'm keeping it simple for now. There's going to be an ability, like a movement ability slot, like a health related one, like I don't know. I'll have to think about how they synergize. So one that like affects your damage, one that affects your movement, and one that affects your survivability, I guess. Something along those lines, eh? Alright, I don't know. I could have set up another system like 9 souls and Mio, memories in orbit. They have like a limit. Same with Hollow Knight, really. You have like a quantity and like they get given a value. That could also work. It allows you to like string a bunch of them together. I am not really necessarily against that. But for now, we've only got one. It's a margin container, I think. And that is full screened. And we got like 10 on it. 19 apparently. And then within that, we'll do like an H box. And one will be like yeah, this is going to be the tough part actually. Control, and this is going to be the display of like equipped. And then there's going to be what your options are. Chips. Okay. Yeah, this is going to be kind of annoying, actually. I think this will just be a list, right? An item list? Test item. Does this get wider based on that? No, okay. So you have your list, and then this could also be a list, honestly, but it probably isn't going to look as good. You're probably better off having like a bunch of like little icons of like empty boxes, and then like as you click them and put them in, you also need like a thing, like a tell you if you're like you're maxed out. So let's say you can just like only equip 3 to begin with. Where's Ace Bro? We take this exact thingo and we make that like the I think I'm exporting these to like the wrong spot. Projects. UI. Upgrades. I guess we're going to create a new folder for mod chips. Empty icon. I didn't know your name was Isaac? Yes. Wait. I'm pretty sure I say that in most videos, right? It is. Except you spelt it wrong. It's ISAAC. But everyone spells it differently, so that's okay. Mod chips slot. And there's a texture rect. Empty icon. So this will be just like the whatever. This is like the empty. This is like the background, almost. What is this music? Music by Game Chops, by the way. Alien Power, Beats of Rage. Don't get cooked, stay off the hook. Okay. And then we'll create a new one. Texture rec. Or I guess like I'm gonna stick it inside this. Change its anchors. It's like the wrong thing. And then yeah, this will be your like icon. Chip icon. And then when you add something, like we just change the chip icon, we'll actually fill that in, and it can be anything. So like if we draw one for the magnetic grip. It's like extra strong. I don't know how you describe that. Do we do it with yellow? Yeah, exactly. This is exactly how it looks when you have extra strong magnets. Yeah, you have yellow lines coming out of your hands. Extra strong. So stupid. Maybe not yellow. We don't want piss hands. Let's make it blue. We can make the bottom ones red. You know, you could just do like this. It's like magnetic. You know? And then you turn off that. And then you can say like this is the export as. Strong grip. And then yeah, we just go, we find strong grip. And then that would get set as that, for example, but we're actually doing this wrong because something to think about. Okay, And so I'm excited for the Subnautica 2 release. The devs won the lawsuit, so I'm pretty sure it releases early access in May. That's good. Yeah, they won it back, right? I never played Subnautica 1. Initial release, May 2026. Subnautica 2 publisher CEO used ChatGPT to bid to avoid paying the US 250. What the frick? What the frick, mate? Subnautica 2 publisher CEO used ChatGPT in failed bid to avoid paying US $250 million bonus to own studio head. What a scumbag. Crafton. What is this? I've never heard of that company. CEO to reinstate Unknown World's leadership after they were ousted using AI generated plan. Oh my god. Guys, we're so cooked. We're so cooked. Like, companies are that lazy that they're going to try to use AI to do all this kind of stuff because they can't be bothered doing it themselves and they don't want to pay anybody to do it. And then it's going to fail because ChatGPT doesn't know how to freaking do anything properly. South Korea gaming publisher who hatched plan using ChatGPT to remove the head of its own game studio in a bid to avoid paying $250 million has been ordered by a US court to reverse the removal. The dispute stems from South Korea game developer Crafton acquisition of Unknown Worlds Entertainment, makers of Subnautica. $500 million! Dude, they paid a lot of money for that studio and then they just shut it down? What the fuck? I don't understand these publishers, these game developer. Is it a publisher? It's a gaming publisher. The studio would remain independent and then its leadership would retain operational control. Anytime someone uses AI on you, ask the judge or the opponent to show provenance. No brain, easy win. No, they didn't shut it down. They fired 3 lead developers. Because they didn't want to give them any money. Okay, so earn out. Yeah, okay. I've been through this with my own company. No, I didn't. As a finance professional, I have worked on earnouts before. I didn't get any earnouts. I wish. Because they're always like insane numbers. If an Unknown Worlds met certain targets, Crafton would pay the studio what it was known as an earnout worth $250 million. Yeah, okay. So when it says here, and like I don't know because of the provenance. Thank you. Like I don't know, but when they say that they acquired the video game developer company Crafton for $500 million, that number probably includes the earnout. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So, you know, you're talking about like half of the number that they agreed to. That's crazy. I thought they just get half price. Yeah. Fucking scumbags, man. As the studio last year ramped up release, Subnautica 2 internal injections showed it would trigger the earnout, according to the ruling. Crafton's chief executive, I won't bother trying to, I'll just call him Kim, believed it was a bad deal. Why'd you sign the contract? It's only 2021. Was he a part of the company then? It wasn't that long ago. And felt taken advantage of, according to the ruling. Let me translate this for you. In other words, it was going to affect his bonus, and he didn't like that. Because otherwise, what's it to him? Unless he's like part owner. Kim was warned by his legal department that the earnout would still need to be paid, even if there was a dismissal with cause. Idiot. He turned to ChatGPT. Dude, this pisses me off. Like, reading this just makes me angry. Like, the level of greed is just next level. If you didn't like the deal, don't agree to the contract. Don't agree to the contract and then try to weasel out of it later. Fucking idiots. Mod chip. This is in script. We're in the wrong spot. Tools. Ability menu. With all 5 of the devlogs they released, the game's coming along nice. Yeah, it's probably a really good game. Like, don't doubt it, because the first one was massive, right?
Summer hasn't been that bad, surprisingly.
Summer was pretty good. I wish I had gone out more, but I didn't. Unfortunately. Are there six devlogs? Do they publish to like YouTube or something? I've never even watched them. What's their channel called? Here we go. Crafton. Wait, is Crafton the company that... the scumbag company? Did I get confused? Just called Subnautica. Ah, okay. That makes sense. Unknown Worlds is making Subnautica. Crafton owns... Yeah, so Crafton is the scumbag company that tried to weasel out of their deal. Back down on a deal, dude. It's crazy. Whoops, I'm not... No politic here. Voices Beyond Lost episode. They do like little short devlogs. That's nice. I mean, I was thinking, because like I'm making these devlogs for the channel intro. They're like kind of 2 minutes, and I was like, is that too short to post to YouTube? Apparently not. I think it definitely... It's different when you're a massive developer like these guys. What's the latest one? Devlog 2. 10 days ago, building the base. Let's have a look. Oh, cool.
Seeing it come to fruition, been working on this from a crazy idea for years, and see it slowly evolve and turn into this system that players can really customize the output.
Oh, they got like farms in the sea.
Wildly different.
What we're doing is kind of novel. We're using some techniques that haven't been used in games in this way before.
I think the system as a whole is pretty challenging.
I worked from day one on this system.
It's so cool to see like a bigger development company doing a devlog like this. Like it's short, it's only 4 minutes, but they're sitting down and interviewing developers, and that would take a lot of effort and time. Like it's one thing for just one guy to like just riff on the camera, but like this is a lot. This is nice.
We've been working on it about 3 years. We have redesigned the system from
Worth
ground
it,
up.
Sometimes
views.
the constraints aren't known to the concept artist, and so therefore we have to adapt a lot of the shapes and visual language when we bring it over from concept to our entire base building system itself.
The most challenging thing that we worked on was actually the system itself. This is a brand new system. I don't think we've seen anything like this in any other survival game.
With bases,
Oh, dude,
everything's broken up into unique.
the lighting there.
In any other survival game.
Look at that. That is just so good. I mean, I'm not a graphics guy, but like that is nice bloom. If you want, you should watch the collector leviation. Right next, they got a blender modeler to interview while making it. Nice.
Bases,
How much is my diesel? I don't drive a diesel car, but I think on the coast it's about $3.
Everything's broken up into unique tiles, and the way that we do that, has to have coordination with adjacent tiles.
Figuring out a good way to let designers and artists make the
Leviathan.
assets
Thank
that will
you.
turn into this pretty rule
So
heavy, like logic heavy system.
Dude, I don't know how. This boggles my mind. Like, how do you do this? I guess it's all just like chunking things together.
To make all of these different shapes.
We have a few core fundamentals that we're striving for. We want to maintain player expression and freedom in the base building system.
We love base building in Subnautica 1 and Below Zero. We kind of wanted to keep that spirit, but allow players to express themselves even more.
I think the
Multiplayer.
main thing is our new procedural system where basically you don't have to be constrained to a specific shape.
We have moved away from fixed pieces for the most part, and we have a much more sculptural, expressive system.
So cool.
I think one of the things that I'm most excited about is our windows. With the procedural system, basically, instead of having just like these big blocks that you can put the windows on, you can make windows in whatever shape you want.
I think by far my favorite base pieces to work on were probably the corridors. Something is very unique about the way that you model
They make the idea of being underwater seem so cool.
something on a constant
When in reality, it's like, like that submarine that got crushed.
radius, and it just made it such a challenge to get all the different pieces of glass that we wanted and all the customization that we wanted inside of like each piece of the corridor.
In the future, players will be able to paint their base, change different colors, different cosmetic options inside, change the color of lights, toggle lights on and off.
Some of the base pieces that I am excited to work on in the
Dude,
future.
it looks so good.
Fully round rooms. I think that one's going to be great. I think it's going to be a nice hit back to Subnautica 1.
I'm really excited just to see what you guys can do. We've built something pretty flexible that will let players really run wild with their imagination. Even in the first 2 games, you already came up with such amazing ideas and concepts, and I think like
That was
the
a
whole
video of
team
the first game?
is super
Goddamn.
excited to see what you guys
I
can
still
do.
think it looks
in
good.
our minds, this is
Subnautica's kind of old,
collaboration
right?
between
Like
us
it's
and-
like 10 years old, right? Leviathan? ...2014, yeah. Over 10 years. Yeah. That's something. Dude, if only. I wish I was that good at creating 3D
I'm Corey
models.
Strader. I was art director on Subnautica 1 and Below Zero, and on Subnautica 2 I'm the visual development lead. We know fans have been looking forward to learning more about the creatures in Subnautica 2. So in this dev video, we want to take you through the process of how we create a creature from the very beginning all the way through the various stages of development. We're going to show you how we created a collector Leviathan, starting at the beginning with the concept art. The visual design for this Leviathan started with multiple rounds of quick, low-detail thumbnail sketches. Here we're focused on
Low
exploring a
detail.
wide
You know how long that would take me to...
range of shapes and
It wouldn't even look
silhouettes.
that good.
It was important to find a look that both aligned with the design brief and was distinct from the Leviathans in our previous Subnautica games. Out of all these designs, this Cthulhu-inspired beast resonated with the team.
Looks like a
Its
squid.
4 tentacles to grab,
I
crush,
wish I was
slaughter,
good at
and
art.
terrify players. The next pass, though still rough, reworked the head and body and added some color.
I
and
love the
pattern.
mystery of the world and
We
the
wanted to move
story.
further
I've no...
from the
I should,
giant
maybe I should
squid
play
look
it.
and add an element of surprise to the design. So we explored having the
I think I got it on a free weekend one time, and then I played a little bit of it, and I was like, I don't get it. Then-
body split open to reveal
because, like, I'm not much of, like, a survival guy. But,
a
like,
glowing internal structure.
If I looked up a guide and, like, it told me how to, like, figure things out, then maybe I'd have more fun with it. Because then I'd have, like, a structure of, like, do this, do that, do this. Because, like, there's kind of games that don't really tell you what to do.
And iterations on various elements followed. Explorations of different looks for the internal structure, mouth anatomy,
Dude.
head patterning, and deadly tentacle tips. Eventually, we ended up with this final concept of the Leviathan and all of its nightmarish glory. As a final note, The concepting doesn't always stop once a creature has entered production.
Yeah,
At
like
multiple
adding
points
stuff.
after the first pass on the model had been
Textures.
done, and we'd had a chance to see it in game, we did paint overs to improve the head patterns and rework the mouth design. Hope you enjoyed this look at how we concepted the Collector Leviathan.
Sculpting.
Hi, my name is Marcelo, and I'm the lead character artist on Subnautica 2. And today, I'm gonna give you guys a quick glance behind the curtain on the process of modeling the Collector Leviathan. As with pretty much all creatures that we make, it
I
starts
can't
out
even,
as a
like,
single
I
sphere
don't know how people
that
do
then start
this.
modeling its shape.
All those
This
tentacles need
process
to be
is very
rigged,
similar to
unless
traditional-
they're a B-mesh under the hood. Easily 50 times more work, yeah. Actually, yeah. That would be a nightmare to, like, set up. I guess this is the beauty of a team. It's like, if it was just, like, there's a lot of people working on this, I'm
Please
guessing. It's a team of what, like 10?
At
5?
this point, I'm focusing on getting the meat
How big's the team, do you know?
forms and proportions of the creature down, so that I have everything
It's not,
where I
like,
need it
massive,
without
but-
worrying about detail.
They're not like a small indie, right? They sold their studio for 500 million.
This is by far the
Got
most
tons of
important
money.
part of the whole process, where I establish a strong base that I can build upon. After that's done, I start building the model
Do you imagine having to remesh this too? Ugh.
structure, and this is where I can have some fun making it look and feel believable. As this guy is very large, it takes a lot of detail to make sure that it holds up in quality up close. And that means many hours of drawing little wrinkles and pores, so that in the end it looks just right.
Dude.
And after many hours of work, here's the final sculpt. After we get the sculpt done, we go through a lot of technical processes and iterations.
Imagine being able to do that. Yeah, I wish.
that
I
won't
started
bore
out
you.
with trying to learn Blender. When I came back to game making, like I took a break when I went to uni and did my masters and stuff like that. So I like stopped making games from like when I was 17, 16 till like literally 10 years. And then when I came back, I was like, I'm going to learn Blender because I always kind of wanted to do the modeling. But then when I learned how to use Blender, but it turns out I'm not that good at making models. This method is sculpt first, go back around, longer process, new method, avoid a lot of the back and forth. Yeah, okay.
with until we get to the final result in an engine that we can play with and that you can see now.
I guess, is there like tools now that you don't, it's 70 people making it? Okay, that's a fair amount. Because like back in the day, if you were going to do a sculpt, you had to remesh it when you were finished sculpting. Is there a way to like avoid having to do that now, I guess? Or maybe you don't need to because like Unreal just handles 1 million polygons. It's fine.
Thank you for watching, and I can't wait for you guys to see this in game.
It's so big. Yeah, okay.
Hey everybody, my name is Colin Knippel. I'm the principal animator on Subnautica 2. I've been with the
He
studio
rigged it.
since
He had
Natural
the
Selection
miserable
2,
job of having to
and I was
rig this
lead
thing
animator
up.
on the past 2 Subnautica projects.
Dude.
We animators at Unknown Worlds like to wear a lot of hats in our department, so I'll be showing you some of the rigging work I did on the Collector Leviathan.
Which is compared to games having upward of 500. I think a smaller team is better. Like, this is a big game. Like, I always feel like we should be going back to like the 90s style where the games were simpler and like the teams were smaller. This big AAA stuff is just not viable. You retain the sculpting work in a Blender modifier and then multi-res. Okay, yeah.
Something different we did for Subnautica 2 is that we're using Blender. Blender is an open source project, meaning all of you can go and download to use this tool for free right now. Blender was a tool we investigated way back at the start of Subnautica, but it really hit its strides around the time of Below Zero, and it felt production ready when we began this project. I've enjoyed using the rapidly developing software, and I'm pleased to know our fans can get inspired by using the same software the Subnautica devs use. Another new aspect of Subnautica is our use of Unreal and our adoption of Unreal control rigging. The workflow has some cool innovations new to rigging systems.
Is
With
this guy
new tool, we can
sponsored by
bring
Blender or
previously
something?
impossible rigging techniques.
Dude, Blender is good. Like, I mean, there's not really another choice. Like, if you're an indie developer, like unless you want to fork out tons of cash, I don't know why you would use like Cinema 4D or like whatever else, Maya. What was it back in my day? Everyone was using Same people that make my, I forget what it was called.
Into our game. I love learning new systems and seeing what I can get out of them.
Autodesk
So this
token
has
costs.
been a lot of fun for
Yeah, Autodesk is fucked, man. It's like, why? Yeah, just use Blender.
me.
It's easy.
What control rigs have allowed us to do is build our cinematics within our game world. With this, we
Yeah,
can
that's
build
really
nuanced
cool.
and exciting cinematics faster than we could have dreamed with our previous tools. These new tools will allow us to push cinematics and creature interactions to a new level of immersion. The Collective Leviathan has been a labor of love for a while now. I think we have a great team on it, and I hope you all enjoy this new terror when some.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, like you can do so many cool things with free and open source software now. Blender has improved massively over the last decade. Yeah, when they Blender 2.8 is really when it shifted for a lot of people, I think. But yeah, it's really good piece of software. Very powerful. Where are we going? But yeah, okay. So we got the mod chip. We got the mod chip menu. So we're gonna have equipped slots here. 2.79 broke a lot of old scripts. 2.8 was the new era. I was very fortunate. 2.8 I think came out right when I got back into it. Blender 2.8. Oh, okay, no. Never mind. I was learning the old Blender, I guess. I started getting back into it in 2015. I don't even remember. I feel like, I guess the new look and the new stuff has been out for so long at this point, and I've just forgotten. Mod chip slot. Already exists. Okay, why you do this to me? That is classic. This needs to be changed. This is a V-Bucks. Damn, did 680 people buy your course? It's been selling pretty well, to be honest. I don't know the exact stat. I'm sure I can look it up. I have no issues sharing that information. I was fighting with Udemy last week actually, because they wanted me to change my icon. You can no longer have weapons. $30 is a lot of money. Yeah, I guess. I got it set to the, oh wait, no, I didn't. I did have it set to the lowest and I put it up. I don't know, because like you can discount it. It gets discounted. People get deals and people get like localized. I can't, no. So the thing is, like, I was fighting with them because they didn't like my thumbnail. Because my thumbnail has the guy holding the gun. It's the same as the YouTube course. And they were like, oh, you can't have weapons in your thumbnail. And I was like, it's not a real weapon. They would not listen, so I had to change it. And now it's no longer being suppressed. So we're back, you know? Yeah, it's doing well this month. 27 enrollments. How do I see this? Obviously I won't show it on screen, but I can tell you the number. It's probably against their TOS. Don't tell them. Don't tell them I told you. 676 enrollments, and it's $3,500. So that, what is that? Like, I don't get most of the money I don't get, which is classic. Divided by 676. $5 per course, okay. It's not bad, I guess. I need to actually do some work on it because people are asking me to explain something and I don't want to do it. Yeah, we're back this month. but it's from my promotion. So it just means that, like, it really honestly depends on how YouTube's doing, because if people are watching the YouTube course, they'll go and buy the Udemy course, because I think it's only like 30 episodes that are available on YouTube, unless you become a member. But like, not everyone wants to become a member, because obviously you have to maintain the membership to get access to the course. Whereas if you're a Udemy, if you purchase on Udemy, then you get access for it forever, and it's a one-time purchase. But like, most of the revenue comes from YouTube. If I'm looking at this, I guess it's like a 50-50 split. That's a wild revenue split. Yeah, you get more. So I get more money. So if you look at like my promotions, like, I don't know exact numbers, but if they click the link on YouTube, I get 90% of the revenue. Whereas if they click the link, if they're just on Udemy browsing for a course, I only get like, I get significantly less. The numbers are somewhere. I can't remember exactly. Traffic and conversion, courses, it says somewhere. If you want to roll your own website to sell your own course, yeah, I've been considering it. Skip all the nonsense, and then I get all the money. You've opted into the deals program. I don't know. There's a way you could find out what the revenue splits are. Joomla and some other extensions. I use WordPress, and I did look at one for it. I've also considered going and talking to Zeneva. Is it Zeneva? No? There's another competing learning platform. Godot course. Zenva Academy. I don't know if anyone's used that. I've been considering, they're actually local to me. So I was like, maybe I should support my local and list here instead. I don't know how much money I'd make. But I see them advertise on YouTube all the time. I've done an ad spot for them. Lots of clients deploying Shopify these days, but they are subscription. Yeah. So I use WordPress because obviously it's free. So like, I host my own website, and I think that costs money to. Honestly, I'm not too sure. No, I think it's free, because I use Oracle for the hosting, and you get like a free computer, and it's just hosted on that. So the question is though, is the free hosting enough to handle the audio and the video decoding? I haven't been to my website for ages. I don't ever go to my website. I don't think people go to my website. But a lot of people do it themselves. Like, I know Heartbeast hosts his own courses. So like, yeah, I guess I could see. Look, I haven't made a post since 2024. And I've got game templates here with one that's not even done properly. Oracle plan can explode. AWS light sale caps us any scary bills. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'd have to look into it. It's one of those things, it's like, it would be better, since like, if you look at the stats, most of the people coming to the course are from YouTube anyway. And then you just pocket all of the money. But yeah, I don't know. That's fine. What is going on here? The mod chip slots are like cooked. I'm gonna take off and study. Have a good one, dude. I'm about to end too. Food for thought when you restructure your income streams, yeah. I need to, because I think things could be better. and it's a time thing. It's really easy to just. I mean, it's hard enough to make the course, and then you list it on a website. And making your own is like a whole nother thing, and then maintaining that, and then also like keeping up to date with people's queries and stuff. All that shit. Why do you look like this? It like takes up the entire screen when it does that. What is up? Does it need to be a flow box again? They like have no depth. Custom minimum size is 48 by 48. And that fixes that problem. And they still expand the entire freaking thing, which is crazy. I love UI, I love UI, I love UI. Okay, that's fine, I guess. So yeah, the point is you're gonna have to select a bunch and then they'll show up here, and then you can add slots. Maybe you can make it like something you can unlock. You can get more slots to do more stuff. I don't know. So yeah, I guess the next stream we're gonna need to start working on how to have this all show up and like click it and stuff like that. It should be pretty straightforward in terms of like get everything to show. We just need to have a list of. It's not really that different from the items, honestly. Like just transition the usable items to be mod chips, and then the items that you have do different things that aren't related to like your movement or ability. Like maybe they just heal you, or like they give you a bit of charge, or you know, whatever else. I am disappearing so I can get ready for school. School is important, go to school. Thanks for the show. Enjoy a full power-ups day. I will be thinking about it while I go about my day. That's for sure. Take care, everybody. Enjoy your Monday. Thanks for hanging out, Even Steven. Appreciate it.